Hey guys, it's Ben again with Coyote Outdoors. This is the third installment of my bug out bag series. This is my bug out bag level 3, or what I call my truck bag. And as you can see, I call it my truck bag because the only way I'd be able to bring this thing with me in a bug out situation is if I either had a second very large man to carry it for me, or I had it in a vehicle. At the end of this video, I'm going to weigh all of my bags to show you guys what each one of them weighs, and I think you'll understand why this one is why I call it my truck bag. Like I said, the only way this one would be coming with me is if I had a vehicle to tote it. But there's a lot of I guess what I would call third tier stuff. My other two bags, level 1 and level 2, would get me by just fine. This one has a lot more comfort items in it, I guess you could say. But it's a big bag, like I said, as you can tell. And it weighs a lot. Before I zoom in to try to show you guys what all's in this, just on the outside is a couple little oddball things. I actually have this from way back when I was in the Boy Scouts. It's just a 1 liter water container. It's aluminum. Just a nice little thing that I got. I've probably had this for 25 years, I'm gonna guess. Just a simple bungee cord, just wrapped around the outside, because you may need a bungee cord for a lot of different things. This little outside pocket, I've just got a Leatherman multi-tool. Nothing too fancy, but they get the job done. I love Leatherman. I've carried one every day for 10 or 15 years. And then there's just a secondary knife in here. It's got a seatbelt cutter. You know, it's got a finger hole for it so you can hold on to it really well. Just a little secondary knife. And this one's nice because it's spring assisted. I like that in a knife. And then also down here in the bottom, I just threw this in here. It's a tire tool for removing like tire plugs. I think there's about 1,000 different uses for that, even if it's just to slow down somebody. So I'll go ahead and throw these couple things back in here, and I will bring you guys in close. I don't know how close I'm going to be able to bring you in because, like I said, this is a big bag. So I'm going to try to keep you as informed as possible on this one. Alright, like I said, this is a big bag. I don't know if I'll have enough table space to keep everything on the table, but first thing that fell out at me, good pair of gloves. For cold weather applications, hiking applications, if you get somewhere where you got to move stone or crawl through a window, gloves are always a nice item to have. Second on the top here is a little bit more of a paranoid item on my behalf. For me and my wife, I have two Israeli gas masks. One out of the bag and one in the bag. The one in the bag's newer. It's a little bit higher quality. It's packed away in here really nice. I'm not going to take it all out, but it looks exactly like that. This one still has a rubber plug in here. A lot of people say, you know, you don't ever open up like a gas mask canister until you're ready to use it, because they do have a time-weighted average on them. Well, this one screws on, but it does have a rubber plug inside. Before somebody comments that it's that's bad already. And then the exact same thing is in this bag. All right, sorry about that skip there. I had to go take care of one of my cats. Inside here is another item. Just another one of those industrial stream lights. This one's the LED version, not the incandescent version. This one's a little newer. It's again, waterproof, impact resistant, dust proof, chemical proof, and spark proof. So great little lights to have. They put out a lot of light, and you just can't kill them. That's why I like to keep these in my bag. And this one's got a little belt loop there on it. Let me take off this bungee cord. I'll get the other items out of there. Next, I have some food in there. Here's a 72-hour Patriot Pantry food kit. Next, I have a decent little first aid kit here. It's got like 120 different items in it. For everything that you need, it's in this little carry bag. It's pretty fancy. Some more food, some biscuits and gravy from Mountain House. Some beef stroganoff noodle from Mountain House. A survival hydro kit, a vegetation solar still. You like put this over top. It's a bag that you put over top a plant, and then it would collect the moisture that comes off the plant throughout the day. Here's a book that I keep in here. I have the room in this bag, so I did throw a book in here. It's U.S. Army Survival Handbook. I don't know if it's their original handbook. I was in the Air Force, not the Army. But it's got a lot of really good information in it, and I picked this up at Borders. It was $14.99. I picked it up for like $5 at Borders, probably 15 years ago. It's been very well used. Here's a bag of just Dragonfire tinder. This stuff's really, really cool. You just sprinkle it out, hit a spark, and this stuff lights right up. Again, it's a big bag because I've got a big bag here. I can afford the space. Next, I've got a Ziploc baggie here. It's got some stuff in it. There is 50 rounds of 22 Quiet, 50 rounds of 22 Velociter, along with a little bag of gun oil. Also in here is a bar of soap, a couple bags of tissue, a bigger bar of soap, and a little bottle of hand lotion. I love hotels. Anytime I go to hotels, I always take all the little soaps because they are great for survival kits. They're great for campers. My wife yells at me all the time because I've probably got 200 of them in a bag in my closet. But I use the stupid things, so I like them. Next, I have another Ziploc baggie here. This one's got a few more food items in it. We got some meal to go energy bars, a MRE crackers, an MRE accessory kit with some drinks, and another spoon fork. I like those because they're light. Like I said, you've probably seen one in every kit that I have. I like them because they're easy to use, they're light, they're multifunction, and I love multifunction. So that's just a little food bag. Like I said, I keep things in bags just to keep them organized. I have one more bag in here. This one is actually a fishing kit. There's also a couple other things, but everything you could want for fishing I have in here. I have extra line. You know, I've got, what is this? 150 yards of 20-pound test line. I've got another compass from Suntow, good brand compass, a couple of screwdrivers, an invaluable tool, a weighted bag so I can get stuff up in a tree if I needed to, some extra line, a knife sharpener, another headlamp, some fire paste. If you haven't tried this stuff, get some, try it out. It's really cool. It's fire paste. You can get it at almost any store. This is a little magnet light. It sticks to just about anything. I have two of them. I use one when I'm working under car hoods quite a bit. A sharpening stone for the knives. And there's another screwdriver. An auto-retracting fish reel. And then at the very bottom I have some fish baits. So, a decent little fishing kit I got there. Oh, there's some spare AAA batteries in there. So that's a little fishing kit, an accessory kit. And then here's why I carry the extra 22 ammo. What else I have in here is a Henry 22 survival rifle. If you've never used one of these, or have one of these, they're pretty cheap. I think I paid about $300 for this one. They're really cool. The whole rifle fits in this buttstock right here. You pop the cap off here, the butt cap. You have the barrel, two 8-round magazines, and the receiver. We're just gonna pop the butt cap back on. The receiver goes into the bottom. If you guys want, I'll do a full review on this too. There's plenty of other channels that have, so I haven't. Once you get that portion of it assembled, you just pull the bolt back just a hair. Insert the barrel. There's a little lug on top of the barrel, so it can only go in one way. Screw the end on. Now this gun is unloaded at all times. You can't store it loaded, but as you can see, there's nothing in there. This thing is shockingly accurate. I've probably put about 500 rounds through it. I really, really like this rifle, and it folds up real nice and neat in my bag. And I just don't think you can beat that thing, especially for the price. Hey Alice, how we doing? Also in the bag here, I've got I guess you could call it a mini sword. I use it for like chopping limbs. It's made by Maxim. I've had this for probably 10 years or so. It's wore out. I've sharpened it half a dozen times. Just a great little thing to have for self-defense or like say clearing brush and stuff. Here I have another hammock. This one's a little bit more involved. It's got all the straps, everything, paracord in here. I'm not going to unfold it because like if anybody around here knows anything about tents or anything, they are horrible to get back in. Now this hammock has a built-in bug net. So it's got the hammock, you unzip it, you climb in, you zip it back up. It's got a built-in bug net. That's why it's a little bigger. And like I said, if I'm surviving with my wife and we bring this bag, now we have 2 hammocks. Each of us can sleep in one. That blue tarp is big enough to cover both hammocks if we wanted to. But, so I like the hammocks and they're comfortable to sleep in. I have another simple cooking kit. It's got a pan. This is like an old Boy Scout style one. It's got a pan, a pot, a couple things in here. I've got more wet fires. Oh, these are actually guitar picks I got, but they're actually fire starters. It took me a second to remember what these were. They're guitar picks, but you could light them and they burn really, really well. And then just a regular Zippo cedar fire starter in there. Like I said, this is just a little $5 pan kit that you can get at absolutely any outdoors store. Then I have a wax-soaked piece of cardboard, paraffin wax-soaked piece of cardboard. Again, great for fire starting. 50 feet of yellow nylon rope. A 2-gallon water bag. And then way at the bottom of the bag here, I've got a machete. Again, very well used, a little rusted. It's a cheap one. It's made by Valley. You get them at like Dunham's or Dick's for like $10. But I like this one. I've used the hell out of it, and it hasn't broke yet, surprisingly enough. I made this little sheath because the sheath that it came with fell apart, but the machete never did. Like I said, I got a lot of stuff in this bag, so it's really not fitting on the table. And then in the bottom down here, I've got, this is actually a 2-piece tent kit. It's a Russian tent kit. I got it from cheaperthandirt.com about 15 years ago. And it's a 2-piece kit here. It's got all the poles and everything you need. I'll do a full review on this too later, because it's a really cool little kit. It's 2 pieces because it's designed to be carried by 2 people on their belt. And separate, it's 2 rain ponchos in here. It's got a set of poles. Each one's got a set of poles, but it's 2 rain ponchos. The bag itself turns into the hood for the poncho, and then inside is the actual poncho. But what they do is the 2 poncho halves actually button together, and they make like a pup tent. And I've used this. Me and some of my buddies went camping in the woods one time, and I slept in this thing for 2 nights. It actually rained on us the second night, and if I had had a tarp under me on the ground, I wouldn't have got wet. The only reason I got wet is I had a little bit of groundwater coming around the sides of the tent, but it did keep me dry. It is technically a 2-person tent. You could sleep 2 people in it. I was comfortable by myself. There's probably enough room for my wife, but I don't think there's enough room in this thing for 2 full-grown males. And then in the bottom, again, I'm not going to take it out because it's a pain, but the whole bag, the outside is stiff because inside there's a sleeping mat that's rolled up that's designed to fit inside this tent to put on the ground. I'll check real quick. Oh, I got a fire piston in here. This is another form of fire starting I like. If you don't know what a fire piston is, look it up. I'll probably do a video on different fire starting techniques one day, and I'll show you how to use this. But there is a little fire piston in there, and I think that is it. Yes. Oh, yep, nope. And then here's a snare kit. I taped up the end because it's got a really sharp, pointy end on it. This is a neat little snare kit. It's got a piece of snare wire. You know, they got it all taped together. But it unfolds. It's designed to like prop a rock or a log or something up. That's got a little piece of wire that would run to some bait. An animal pulls on it, and it would drop the log or rock on the animal. It's a cool little kit that I got. But that's what's in my truck kit. Like I said, this weighs a lot, but there's 4 to 5 days worth of food in here. Another tent. There's my 22 rope, gas mask. So there's a lot of weight in this bag. So that's why I said it would do the truck bag. It would fit in the truck real good. But again, give me your reviews on what you think about this one, what I have in it, if you think I did a good job, a bad job, what you would add, what you would take away. I think between all 3 of my bags, I have got, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I've got about 10 days worth of food between the 3 bags. I'd say 8 to 10 days worth of food depending on how I ate it between the 3 bags. And I'd say 10 to 12 different ways to start a fire, 10 or 12 different ways to have a flashlight, 6 different ways to purify water. I mean, I like redundancy. So I got 3 first aid kits, some higher end first aid items like a tourniquet, the big Israeli bandages, that kind of stuff. But tell me what you think. Like, comment, share. Oh yeah, sorry, I did forget I told you I was going to scale all of my bags. Here's the 3 bags. You got level 1, my get home bag that stays in my truck at all times, my level 2 bag, and my level 3 bag. There is a level 4, but I consider my level 4 my actual vehicle itself. But here's the 3 bags. I will tell you how much each of them weighs. I got my bathroom scale here. It's the only scale in the house I have that's big enough to weigh these. And it does say it's accurate to within 1/4 pound on the back. So let's do the get home bag first. We are at 12.4 pounds. For my get home bag. Let that clear. Takes a second. This is my level 2, my bug out bag. Like I said, this one stays in my closet. It's cleared. My level 2 bag is 19.4 pounds. So just a little heavier than that, but still plenty light enough for somebody to carry. Like I said, if I had to bring both these bags, I would carry this one. I'd put my littler one on my wife. But that is my level 2 bag. This one's going to be a little more complicated to scale, but let's give her a shot here. Alrighty. Alright, we're going to give this a second because the scale will actually remember the weight here in a second. Let's see what she says here. There we go, 31.9 pounds. Actually, that's a little lighter than I thought it was going to be. I was guessing it closer to about 45 pounds. Still light enough to carry on an airplane if you wanted to, though. Still light enough to carry on your back if you wanted. But it is heavy. I wouldn't want to hike too far with it. But those are the weights of my 3 bags. Just so everybody knows. Because if you go back and watch my videos, you can actually see exactly what's in these 3 bags. So what you can actually carry with you for the combined weight of, what did I say, 12, we'll say 13, 20, and 40. So 60, 70, 72 pounds. You can see what all you can carry with you. And I could grab all 3 of these, run them out to my truck, toss them in, and be on the road in probably under 2 minutes. Obviously, if I have more time, I have a lot more things in the house I would grab. But in the event of an absolute emergency, these 3 bags and out the door. Again, thanks for watching, and you guys have a great night.